be underway. Okay. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How is everyone? This is Friday morning coffee chat with Rod and our Q&A session. And we're going to have a bit of fun, answer some questions, have a chat, and most importantly, drink some coffee, right? I hope you're a coffee lover like I am. But maybe I shouldn't be, but who knows? So hopefully you can all hear me okay. Just as we're waiting for people to join us now on the stream, maybe let us know where you're dialing in from, and just let me know if the audio is coming through clearly as well. So we're still working on a few setup things with the live stream. G'day Colin Hatfield, welcome back mate. Glad you're enjoying the live streams, and thank you for joining us, always appreciate it. And Rosalie, good morning in Dargo. I think you should be receiving your prize soon, Rosalie, if you haven't already. That was sent last week, I think. So welcome back. Welcome everyone joining us on Facebook. Let us know where you're tuning in from. Hey Nan in Mississippi, Thursday evening, 6 p.m. Probably not a bad time to be doing a bit of a coffee chat. Tracy, welcome. Nelson Bay. Now, where's Nelson Bay? You'll have to enlighten me. I'm having a mental blank. Good morning, John. I have a small mug. You mean my coffee mug? I don't know. It's my third coffee of the morning, so probably just as well I've got a small one. Good morning, more duplicator. Good morning, Ann Dawes in Perth. Welcome back. Glad to hear it's all clear. That's good, good, good. And if you're on Twitch, please let us know whereabouts in the world you are. We're slowly getting a few people picking us up on Twitch, which is good. Thank you all very much. Not had any luck with Periscope yet, but we'll keep working on that. Good morning, Peter Shaw. How are you, mate? Hope you're well. Beth in Wisconsin, welcome back. Good to see you again. Tracy, oh, near Newcastle. Yes, of course it is. I've got family in Foster Tuncurry there, and know a few people in Newcastle. Nice part of the world. Yes. So, UK for More Duplicator. Welcome back, mate. I like your name too, More Duplicator. It's a catchy little title there. So, we're just going to have a chat today. As I think if you've joined us on the last coffee chat, it's really just about having a chat and answering some questions. So if you do have questions about learning to paint or about life in general, we'll see how we go. But certainly about learning to paint, then please post them in the comments and we will endeavour to answer the questions for you, because it's one thing to see me demonstrating painting and watching, but sometimes you've just got those nagging questions, and the opportunity to be able to ask somebody who is a full-time artist, I think is invaluable, and it's something I would love to have, more full-time artists be able to ask them questions as well. So please use this time. This is your time. I'm here for you guys. Hi, Bonnie in Alberta, Canada. Welcome back. Teresa in Colombia, and Jonesy in BC, Canada. Not sure how I came across you. Might have just popped up in your notifications on YouTube, possibly. Hi, Beth, New York City. Welcome. Now, if this is the first time joining us on a live stream, let us know. Just say yes in the column. I probably should tell you who I am, just in case you're unfamiliar. Hi, Yvonne. Welcome back. I think you're over in Perth. Sean in PA. Welcome. Coming in loud and clear. Awesome to hear. Been having a few problems with microphones. I'll show you this, just for a bit of fun, right? The audio wireless pack that that's all the batteries I've churned through in the last 2 weeks, right? It shouldn't be doing that. So I've got to send the audio pack back to the people I bought it from. And so I'm using a different mic and playing around with different mic setups at the moment. So that's what's going on there. Thank you so much, Nan. I appreciate that. And you've just reminded me I probably should share this onto my Rodmore Art page. So I'll just do that while we're chatting. Here we go. I'll just quickly share this onto my other page. And so, yeah, have a think about what questions do you want answered, because I love answering questions, talking about art, and would love to have you ask me your questions, right, that are important to you. There we go, shared on my Rodmore Art page. So thank you for that, Nan. Appreciate that. And if you do feel like sharing our live streams, and we always appreciate that, of course, because my mission is to take the More method of painting out to millions of people around the world. And, you know, I need your help to do that. So appreciate any help you can give in that way. Janet, welcome in Canada. We have a lot of Canadians, which I think is fantastic. Tracy, missed last bits of yesterday. Yeah, the live stream dropped out yesterday. So I do apologise. I took some time and figured out why after the event, and I know next time if the same thing happens, I know how to resolve that issue. So hopefully we'll be able to get back live ASAP, right? So I do apologise for that. Now, Jonesy, first time, thank you. Beth, first time, awesome. So I was going to tell you who I am, right? So my name's Rod Moore, right? I run the Learn to Paint YouTube channel, the Learn to Paint Academy, and so on. So Donald Trump's just joined us on YouTube. So yay, Donald. I don't know if it's really Donald Trump or one of his supporters. Thank you for your vote, everyone. This is the wrong channel, Donald. Sorry, mate. Wrong channel. We're here to talk about art. But good on you for taking the opportunity. Jonesy's asked, am I an acrylic artist? At Learn to Paint Academy, we teach in acrylics, we teach in traditional oils, and more in water mixable oils, because I think they give a beautiful blend between acrylics and traditional oils. So yes, we teach in all three, Jonesy. Hi Gladys, welcome back. Good to hear. I'll get stuff Trumpy. I don't know how to, hang on. If he is a spammer, we'll give him one more chance. Otherwise, we'll remove him. He might actually be Donald, and I don't want to upset Donald. Not that I care, but hey. Gladys picked up her MDF boards today. Awesome. I think you might have posted something to that effect or sent me a message on that, Gladys. Well done. Excited to use them now that they're cut up and ready. Yeah, and look, one of the great benefits of using MDF boards is the storage, right? Because when you paint on stretch canvas, you know, after you've done 100 paintings, you run out of storage room. I mean, I've got a bedroom full, and I've got paintings everywhere here, and I probably should put more focus into selling them, but you know, my time's split with mostly helping people learn to paint, and that's what I love doing. But good on you, Gladys. And for those who don't know what we're talking about, I publish each week a video which is called Art Studio Chat, and it's about giving you hints and tips and things. And in Art Studio Chat, 2 weeks ago we talked about how to prepare MDF boards for painting on, and then in this week's one we talked about how to tone those boards and apply a ground to them. So go and check out our YouTube channel or on Facebook, and you can pick up those videos if you're interested in painting on MDF board, which, you know, I have a preference for painting with them. Yeah. So for those who are new, here's a free course that we give out, which is at the Learn to Paint Academy. You can register for a free course. So the address on the screen now is www.learntopaint.info. I'll leave that up for a bit so you can write it down. But you can go and register for a free course. You can learn more about the More method of painting, and we're always adding new courses and so on. So I'm halfway through filming a course that we're just in the process of launching, which is about painting loose, bold, and expressive, and getting out of our conscious minds and getting into an unconscious flow. You know, painting intuitively. And so this is just the very early stages of this painting. It's a bigger painting than what we normally do, and this is really just mapping in some darks and getting a bit of a plan happening. So I'm going to go back to filming that this morning after our live stream, and yes, this is the sort of thing we do at Learn to Paint Academy. If you're new, so write down that address and you can go and register for a free course there. Hi Janet in Canada, welcome. Tracy, welcome. John, do you listen to music when working in the studio on your own work? Really good question. Do I listen to? I think there's a lot of value in listening to music, because one of the challenges we have is we think too much and we don't feel enough in what we're doing with our paintings. So I do sometimes listen to music. If I'm going to listen to music, it's going to be music that brings, like meditative type music that brings my brain waves down into a state of alpha, so I can really tap into my unconscious creativity. However, what I prefer, my preference is, I think it's a good question, John. My preference is to listen to podcasts, and I like long format podcasts. I listen to Rich Roll, who's an ultra marathon and a plant-based food advocate, and he interviews some really interesting people. And his podcasts go for 2 hours, so I like listening to those, and that sort of helps me get into out of my own head and into my unconscious mind as well. So, yeah, good question, John. I think it's probably not a bad thing to do. If you're going to film and live stream, just be careful you don't use Spotify or any music like that, because the YouTube and Facebook are really good. They've got automated systems to pick up any copyrighted material that you might have on in the background even. So they'll block you. So just be aware of that. Tracy would love to see the finished painting. I assume you're talking about this one here, Tracy. If you've registered for the Loose, Bold and Expressive course, you will of course see it. And I'll probably put it into some promotion and stuff. If you're a lifetime member of the Learn to Paint Academy or a monthly member, you'll be getting this course. So you'll see it there. I'm looking forward to seeing how it's going to finish as well. I have no plan. And this is all about loosening up with our painting, right? So there's no plan. There's no reference material for this painting. So I'm keen to see how it finishes up as well. Lydia, I need to get motivated and paint again. It's been years. Yes, you need to. You need to pick up a brush and splash some paint around. It's the most enjoyable thing you can do in life, I think, being creative. So definitely, Lydia. So thank you for joining us. Thank you. Brianna, hey Brianna, welcome. I don't know if you've joined us before, but I've known Brianna for a number of years now. So welcome, a terrific artist in her own right. So good to have you on the live stream. Lydia's in Connecticut, in the beach. Plenty of it. Yeah, totally. The beach is a great subject. I am in Sunshine Coast in Queensland. So just about an hour and a half north of Brisbane, which is a beach area as well. So Lydia likes my accent. Thank you. I often get told that when I go to the States. So, yesterday's painting you want to see finished, Tracy? Yes. Well, we will finish it off. I'll show you what we're talking about there. Excuse me, walking. That's what we were doing in yesterday's live stream when my internet connection inadvertently dropped out, and we were trying to go for something a bit bolder, more colourful and so on. So we will finish that, Tracy. We will do that in next Tuesday's live stream, right? So make sure you join us for that. It'll be the same time, all going well. Miriam, how you going, Miriam? Miriam paints some beautiful figurative work, and you ought to check out her eBay listings there. Catherine, hi from Maryland, welcome. Anna, hi Rod, I'm in Portugal. Do you ever consider to come here? I'll come to Portugal. If you can get an art group there who wants me to come over and do some workshops and so on, then I'll work it into my travel plans. I'm probably going to go to Europe probably May, June, July-ish next year. And if you want me to come to Portugal, then, get together with a local art society and we'll put on a workshop. And over I'll come, absolutely. Okay, now let me just check in on... Got some more questions coming in, which is awesome. Question, did you used to run another channel named... Yes, that was a long time ago though. So you found me through there. Okay, cool. Just a bit lost here. Get stuff Trumpy. Trumpy looks like Trump's gone, so that's probably off to another rally somewhere. Jonesy, thanks for joining us, mate. YouTube seems to be very aggressive about blocking many types of content these days. Well, I think probably rightly so, John. People take advantage of the opportunity to live stream, and to create video. So if I was a musical artist and somebody was using my music in the background, I'd probably want YouTube to be aggressive in that. I think it's probably a fair thing, if you're using copyright. And I only found out because I was doing like a time-lapse video. Oh, no, it wouldn't have been, but I did a video where I was just painting, I wasn't talking, and I had music on in the background, and the music was just like Spotify streaming or something like that. And it was just popular music, and so they blocked the video, and I thought that's fair enough. So I learnt the lesson not to do it again. Okay. So what questions do we have? Because I'm here to answer your questions, and I will go through a bit of a post that I put up on Facebook if we don't have any direct questions coming through. Hi, Sue. You're in America. Whereabouts in America are you, Sue? I know you've been a fan of ours for a while and followed us for a while. So let us know where in the States you are. Miriam, made it on time. Yes. Hopefully, if I keep a regular time, which is 9 a.m. my time, is what I'm going to try and aim for our live streams. Hopefully, people will be able to then work out how that relates to their own time and know when to check in. Yeah. Anna, thank you. How can I know when you come here? Well, I don't have a plan for Portugal, but I'm planning to go to Europe next summer for you guys. So I won't come to Portugal unless somebody there wants me to come and do a workshop. So if you know of anybody in an art society in that area, and you can go and talk to them and say, this amazing guy from Australia wants to come and do a workshop, and they organise it, right, then I'll come. Colin's asked me a question regarding different yellows. Where would you place yellow ochre in a painting, i.e. background, foreground, midground? Same with other hues in yellow. How do they compare in temperature? Good question, Colin. So Colin's asking about yellows and so on. If you're doing landscape painting or seascape painting, there are certain principles to understand regarding depth, aerial perspective. And I did a video on this recently. So you've got to always keep in mind that we're trying to capture a three-dimensional, I'm just trying to get the right light angle there. Hopefully you can see that. We're trying to capture a three-dimensional world on a two-dimensional surface. So in order to do that effectively, we have to utilize certain techniques that manipulate the way people view them. So one of the first things I understand about aerial perspective is the color ranges and how they change as things get further and further away. So in the foreground, right in the foreground, you get the highest saturation of color, and you also get the three primaries. You get your blue, your red, and your yellow. So you're always going to get yellow in the foreground. But then as you go into the distance, say the middle distance, what starts to happen is the yellow starts to disappear out of the image. And then when you get far enough back, the red disappears and you just end up with blue, because you're looking through more atmosphere in distance, and there's particles in the air and so on, the curvature of the air, and so the reds and the yellows start to drop out of the spectrum, and you're just left with blue, which explains why when you're in the country driving down the road, you see blue mountains in the distance, right? But they're a greyish blue because the saturation goes from bold, bright colours and it starts to grey off into the distance, and that is what happens there, right? So yellow ochre is probably best therefore used in the foreground, and it's an earthy yellow, and it's probably on the warmer side, although I think if you have got a cadmium yellow, that's going to be warmer than a yellow ochre, because yellow ochre is greyed off a bit by the fact that it's mixed with other, it's got a little bit of red in there, I suspect, but it's a little bit greyed. So I think the proper place for yellows is really strong in the foreground and then diminishing in value and temperature and saturation as we move into the middle distance. And then you don't really want too much yellow in the distance, right? Now, having said that, of course, there's no absolutes in painting. And so I've got yellow sort of sunset in the sky, and you would think, okay, the sky is the furthest thing away. So there's always exceptions to the rule. Every rule is just a general rule, I guess, right? So I hope that helps, Colin, and it's a good question. I think it's one that if you utilize it to your advantage, your understanding of aerial perspective, then you can get depth and realism into your landscape paintings, which is what most of us are looking for. Not all of us, but Peter Shaw, how do you varnish your finished paintings? So it depends, Peter, on whether you're talking acrylic or oils. With acrylic, it depends on what brand you're using. So if you're using the Artilia Interactive and you've just finished a painting, I used to use a spray can, spray varnish and spray, right? But with the Artilia Interactive, I found through trial and error, mostly error, that if you haven't let it set hard enough, then by spraying it with a varnish, you can actually reactivate the paint. It all runs. How do I know that? Because I've made the mistake. So even though the Artilia Interactive is good, it rehydrates, it's not necessarily good to use different types of varnish. So with Artilia Interactive, you can actually get, you buy a bottle of varnish. And so I use a soft sponge brush and just very lightly apply it so it doesn't reactivate the paint. Now, if you're using any other type of acrylic paint, let it dry for 2 days and then you can use the spray varnish. If you're talking about oil paints, then of course, with oil paint, everyone says you need to let it set for 6 months before you varnish it. I've never been that patient, and I just use a spray varnish. So, hope that helps, Peter. And okay, perhaps I can arrange it then. Yes, if you can, let me know. How many persons? We probably need 15 people to make it viable, because obviously there's costs involved in me coming and so on. But if you want to get in contact, just go to the Learn to Paint Academy Facebook page. Make sure you like the page and then just send me a message through Messenger there. We can have a chat about it. Miriam loves that painting. Thank you, Miriam. It's not finished yet. The live stream dropped out yesterday, but we'll get to it. G'day, Robert Green. Welcome. Tracy. I have a lot of works on canvases, but really don't know how to finish them off. And so, Tracy, I think I sort of answered that in answering Peter's question, hopefully. Miriam, I consider transparent and opaque colours when creating depth as well. Do you? Yeah, to a degree. I think they're important, but I don't really get too fixated. To me, I start with mostly transparent colours, right? So I start with my darks, and I use transparent darks, and I don't really consider them too much in terms of depth, but I think that's a valid point to do so. G'day, Megan. How are you? Welcome. Lydia, is it better to stretch and prime your own canvas or buy it already done, and what ounce canvas would you use? Well, I generally buy stretch canvas. I don't want to give myself too many jobs to do. I've already got enough. So I don't tend to. So if you buy a reasonably good quality canvas, then that's already stretched and already primed, then yeah, that's probably all you need to do really. But you've got to think about different canvases for different purposes, right? If I'm just practicing or I'm doing a demonstration on video, I'm not going to go out and buy an expensive canvas. But if I'm going to put it into a show, then I'm going to buy a more expensive canvas, which will be properly prepared, right? So that's how I think about it. But more and more, I'm doing, as we've talked about, MDF board because I've run out of storage space. I like painting on canvas because I like the give in it, but because of storage space, I'm painting more and more on the MDF boards. Okay, John. Did you get a chance? John, I've just had a crazy week, mate, but I will look at him probably over the weekend. Illustrator from the 1900s, I asked because I see some of his type colours. Okay, good. Well, I definitely will. But yeah, I've just been a crazy week. Got a lot on. And doors, I'm still trying to obtain some water-soluble oil paints with no luck in perf. Well, and the easiest way to get around that would be to jump on Art Shed Online's website. They're based in Melbourne, but they're one of the outlets for Montmart, and you could get the H2O water mixable oils from their website, nice and cheap, and they'll ship it to you. The staff there are fantastic. Young Tom, who's one of their staff members there, he jumps on our live streams occasionally. And Art Shed Online, they've got a fabulous website. Jump on there and you can pick up the H2O water mixable oils. They'll ship them to you, and then you won't have any more problems with that. Easy solution for you. John, I'm looking forward to your continuing on the painting from the other day. Yeah, me too, John. And I was just saying, I think you might have come in a little bit late, but the live stream dropped out. I think I identified why, and next time, if that happens again, I know how to get us back online pretty quickly. So fingers crossed, right? Best laid plans of mice and men. But, all going well, we should be right. So, is it better we answer that? What other questions do we have? while I drink my coffee, we talked about this painting here before. So we've just launched a brand new course, which is Loose, Bold and Expressive. It's really designed, if you're an absolute beginner, then, if you're an absolute beginner, then go and register for that course, www.learntopaint.info, and you can learn all the basics of the Moore method of painting. But if you're a bit more advanced and you want to learn to loosen up, and we're doing bigger painting, bolder colors and so on, then just go to learntopaint.online/loose and you'll get all the details of that new course. And it's coming together really good. I've had a lot of people tell me over the last couple of years that one of the biggest challenges they have is how to get looser. In fact, on our Facebook page, I put up a comment saying, what's your biggest challenge in learning to paint right now? And a third of the comments were, how do I paint looser? Right? So that's what we're doing in this new course, Loose, Bold and Expressive. And if you just want to get the details, it's learntopaint.online/loose. That'll take you to the info page. You can check it out and see if you think it might be for you or not. So yeah, g'day Ian. How you going, mate? I hope you're well. Vanis Manuel, is there harm in putting painting in a glass frame? There's no harm, but you've got to put the right type of painting in glass frame. Generally, it's paintings that are on paper. You put under glass. You wouldn't want to put an oil painting or an acrylic painting under glass. I can't see any reason why you'd want to do it. I think, problem with glass can be that if you're exhibiting them or you've got them on your wall at home, you can get reflection and glare off lights. So they put paintings on paper or cardboard behind glass just to protect them so that they preserve longer. But if you're doing oils or acrylics, why would you want to? I don't see any real reason why you'd want to. So I hope that answers your question, Vanis. I'm not sure from what angle you're coming at with that, but yeah, hopefully that answers your question for you. So welcome. And do you ever use glazing mediums? No, not generally. And part of the reason, Catherine, is at the Learn to Paint Academy, we're all about teaching beginners. So what I've tried to do is simplify things right down. I've removed a lot of mediums out of our methodology. That's not to say they're not valid and you shouldn't use them, but in order to simplify things right down, the Moore method of painting is 3 steps, 3 colors, 3 brushes as a way to get started. Rather than as a beginner, you get all excited, you go into the art store, right, and you see all these colors and brushes and canvases, and you go, the little voice in your head goes, buy everything, right? You've just got to take it all home. You've got to say yes, and next thing your credit card's coming out and you're buying it, right? And you come home, you've got 35 colors and you don't know what to do with any of it, and you end up mixing mud. So our process is about simplifying it right down. And as a result of that, I don't teach to use different mediums very much, okay? So I don't tend to use them as a result of that. However, they're valid at the right times, absolutely. Miriam, do you include thank you cards with your orders you receive online and on eBay? Absolutely I do. In fact, okay, so we're going to talk now about selling art, and Miriam and I have been chatting about this a little bit. I've got a 12-week coaching course on how to sell your art online, and one of the places I recommend starting out to get experience selling is eBay. It's a low dollar value, high turnover type marketplace, but that's good because you then start to build a database of people who have bought your art that you can then promote more art to, right, and make more sales to. So it's a good strategy if you're not consistently and regularly selling art right now. So the question then is, once I make a sale and I'm shipping that painting to them, what do you put within that? So I've got about a 5-page document that I send with my artwork, right? And that document has got, one page has got clippings from press releases and things like that where I've been in the media, my TV show, photos from the TV show. So I've got a 1-page bio. I've got a thing that goes with a discount coupon. So if they come to my website and they buy a painting from my website, they get a 40% discount. So the answer to your question, Miriam, is absolutely you've got to utilize the opportunity when they open up that package and they see that painting that you've sent them. You've got to use that opportunity to make a connection with them and to get them to enter your world, right? Otherwise, they just buy a painting and then 3 weeks later they've forgotten about it. So you've got to use techniques to engage them into wanting to know more about you and find out more about you and buy more paintings from you, right? good question. So you just got to think, okay, how do I connect with these people? They're opening up this package. How do I connect with them? G'day, Pat. Welcome. John, how much sketchbook work do you do? I use my Chinese water ink to keep practicing. Now, for those that don't know, John is one of our more certified instructors. He's based in Taiwan, and he went through our teacher certification program and did a great job, and does a lot of Chinese water inks and so on. So, sketchbooking, I don't do anywhere near enough because time is my biggest challenge, right? I should do a lot more, and I intend to do a lot more, but nowhere near enough. So it's something I need to get back to. I think it's a great practice just to every day be sketching something, because the more you can just condition yourself to sketch and get good at observation and then turning that into a sketch, I think that's an incredibly valuable skill. Yeah. Janet's asked, how do you get the sparkling water? Well, I think there's lots of different ways of doing that depending on the situation. So perhaps, in a future episode of Learn to Paint TV or on one of our Art Studio chats, I might address that directly. It's kind of difficult to explain it rather than demonstrate it. So perhaps if you keep an eye out over the next month, I'll figure out a way to incorporate that into what we do. Can you show us finished painting from last night? I can't, Janet, because our live stream dropped out. This is where we got up to, right there. Okay, live stream dropped out, and we're going to finish that one now on Tuesday live stream. So look out for that. Make sure you join us for Tuesday. My pleasure, Miriam, of course. 8-track, g'day 8-track, Sally I think it is, in Nebraska, welcome back, good to see you. All right, any other questions? Let me pop that back up again for you. So if you're new, first time watching us, go and check out learntopaint.info, and you can register for a free course at the Learn to Paint Academy, which goes through a fair bit of detail. Actually, I think there's 4 or 5 full demonstrations and an explanation of the Moore method of painting and the different brushes and the paints that we use. So if you're just starting out or you're new to us, go and register for the free course and check it out. I think you'll find it interesting. Even if you've been painting for a while, there's probably things that you'll see that we do that maybe you haven't thought about doing, the way we approach it. Teresa, I'm interested in knowing more about the coaching sessions for selling on eBay. Teresa, if you join us on our Facebook page, Learn to Paint Academy at Facebook, and then send me a message through there, then I'll share the link with you with all the details. But it's not just about eBay. It's a 12-week coaching program about selling your art online. So I'm of the opinion that you shouldn't look at any one thing in isolation as being the thing to do. I think you need to build a system. So right now, and I'm going to go on a bit of a rant for you, right? Because for those of you who are interested in selling art, whether it's just to make some sales and make a bit of pocket money or eventually becoming a full-time artist like myself, this is the greatest time in history. There's never been a better time to be a self-representing artist than right now, but you need to be strategic about it. And what I see is so many artists right now doing paintings, taking photos, and then going into Facebook to all the different art groups and posting them up and saying, here's my latest painting, right? And then wondering why they don't sell paintings. So you need to be more strategic about it. So our 12-week coaching program, we go through eBay, but it's one part of a bigger picture, a bigger online marketing system. And it's about, it's about building attracting an audience of people to you who are interested in your art. It's the same thing that I do with Learn to Paint Academy, right? We don't use just one thing. We've got YouTube, we've got Facebook, we've got email marketing and advertising. So there's a whole lot of things that come together in a systematic way, in a strategic way. And we go through all of that in our 12-week coaching program. And we look at websites and we look at Facebook marketing and a whole range of different things, which all of that combined, then becomes a marketing system for your art, which will help you sell more art. And you've got to think about selling art as being not making one-off sales. Anybody can put a piece of artwork up and make a one-off sale. And what I'm all about is that's not really that relevant, making one-off sales. It feels good and you get a bit of money. But what's important is consistent, regular, reliable, repeatable sales that you can then grow over time. And that's what our 12-week coaching program is about. So if that's of interest to you, then best way to contact me is through Facebook's Learn to Paint Academy page. Go there and then just send me a message through there, and either my support team or I will get back to you on that one. All right, Teresa? And anyone else who that might be of interest to. Hello in the Philippines. How can we make a metal color? That's a really good question. I've not ever thought to make a metal color, but I assume it's a grey. And if it's a grey, then you mix a grey with the 3 primary colors and white. Right? But that's a really good question. Maybe I'll play around with that. I don't generally paint metals. So, g'day, Kathy. A little bit late, but hi from Omaha. Oh, okay. I don't think you mean you're high. I think you're saying hi. Hi, right? Nick, can you say happy birthday to Nick Gurk? Happy birthday, Nick. Hope you have a great day and you celebrate well. Good, Kathy. Thanks for the clarification. John's asked, do you do murals, large work? Is that any easier or harder to do? If you're going to do larger work, you've got to be able to scale up. And the more you scale up, the more you're going to need more detailed type of work. I don't do them. This is probably about the biggest that I do. Main reason is storage. Now, my plan is in the next 6 months or so is to go and find a factory that I can rent and set my studio up in there, and that will allow me to do bigger work. But at the moment, I'm kind of restricted by the backboard there. My pleasure, Teresa. Hi, Nola. Sally, welcome. In Grand Junction, Colorado. Fantastic. Welcome, welcome. So let me just check in on Twitch, see if we've got any. I've got one viewer on Twitch. Hi to our one viewer on Twitch. Hopefully over time we'll be able to build up our audience there on Twitch. It's mostly a gaming platform, but whoever it is that's joined us, welcome and thank you for joining me. I appreciate it. All right. Looks like you guys are running out of questions. While you're thinking of other questions, on our Facebook page recently I did a post. Let me just go and find it. No, that's not it. I did a post on our Facebook page, which was, what's your biggest challenge in learning to paint? So I'll just go and see if there's any questions on there. But feel free to ask me other questions, otherwise we'll wrap it up in a little bit. And, I'm going to give away a coffee mug, aren't I? One lucky person's going to win a coffee mug. And going to win a coffee mug. I need a question. What question can I ask you? What question can I ask you? Let me think. Okay, the question is, and the first person I see who answers this, the question is this, and you win a coffee mug. I'll ship it out to you. In fact, okay, what I'll do, let's say somebody on Facebook's going to win a coffee mug, right? First person on Facebook to win a coffee mug, to answer this correctly. And somebody on YouTube is going to win a limited edition mouse mat. So the question is, you ready? What's the name of our new course that we just launched yesterday? New painting course. I've mentioned it a couple of times here. So what's the name of our new painting course? If you want to win a coffee mug or the mouse mat. So Facebook's going to win a coffee mug. YouTube's going to win a mouse mat. Okay, I'll give you a moment to answer that while I look for other questions. Rosalie, Rosalie's asked me what forum can I get a critique on. I don't generally do detailed critiques in the Learn to Paint Academy and so on. However, I'm happy to do a couple occasionally on our Friday morning coffee chat. So if you email that to me, but it needs to be a high-res one because I need to put it up on the screen, and I'll do it if you're happy for everyone to see your painting and have an open discussion about it. So then I'll do a detailed critique, so you can email that through to me. Okay, so g'day Kathy, you came late. Okay, All right, now I've got a couple of people answering the question, but I don't think quite getting it right. So Peter, almost there, Peter, almost, but you've got the words around the wrong way. Catherine, loose, bold, and expressive. Correct, absolutely. So Catherine, where am I? On Facebook. So on Facebook, you've just won yourself a limited edition Learn to Paint coffee mug. Coffee tastes better in a Learn to Paint coffee mug. Really? Not really. But congratulations, Catherine. Catherine Southard. If you contact us via support desk or Learn to Paint Academy Facebook page, use Messenger, okay, and tell me you won the coffee mug and your postal address, I'll send that out to you. Colin, you had it right as well, mate, but you came in just after Catherine on my screen. Now, it may come in different order on other people's screens, but certainly on my screen. So, Catherine purchased the course. Thank you very much. Look out for more content going up today, and then we'll keep adding to it over the next week or two. It's a fun course. I really enjoyed doing the start of our first painting project yesterday. Really fun course. Sally, if you're having trouble loosening up, then have we got the course for you, right? We just launched this course yesterday, and it's the one I've just asked the name of. It's Loose, Bold, and Expressive. You can get all the details, learntopaint.online/loose. And by the end of the course, you will definitely paint a lot looser if you follow along with the course. Catherine's just joined us, and quite a few others have, so you can get all the details there and join us. And let me have a look on YouTube now. YouTube's going to win a mouse mat. Ooh, nobody on YouTube I can see has answered it correctly yet. Nobody has answered it correctly on YouTube. What's the name of the current or the new course we just launched yesterday? You want to win a mouse mat, limited edition? This is your chance to win. Be the first. And you've answered, but you haven't quite got the name right. So here's your opportunity to get it right. John, I will be completing this painting that we've started on my Tuesday morning, which I guess would be your Monday evening in the States. So we'll carry on with this one, and fingers crossed, live stream will hang in there, and we'll be good to go. Okay, anybody on YouTube want to win the mouse mat? Otherwise, I'll keep it. Going. Loose, bold, and expressive. John Dwyer, congratulations, mate. You've won the mouse mat. You just beat Anne to the punch. So sorry, Anne. John, congratulations. If you want me to post out the mouse mat to you, then same procedure. You can either contact our support desk or go to my Facebook page, Learn to Paint Academy on Facebook, and like the page and message me through there, and I'll send that out to you in the post. You'll get the mouse mat, and you'll be able to look at my mug every time you move your mouse. Okay, final chance to ask me questions before we wrap it up. Anna, you are correct, but you had just missed the jump. Catherine beat you to it. So well done, Catherine and John. Thank you all very much for joining me for Coffee Chat with Rod. I've enjoyed it. I've had a lot of fun. Look forward to doing this next time. But I will post up our week's live streams probably Monday or Sunday or Monday. Check those out. Oh, actually, we won't be doing Coffee with Rod next Friday, because next Friday is, of course, Easter Friday, and I'm involved in a group exhibition of the Coolum Art Collective. So if you're anywhere near the Sunshine Coast over Easter, come along to the exhibition. I'm going to have half a dozen paintings or so there. Should be a bit of fun, which means we won't have Coffee Chat with Rod, but we will do our 2 live streams next week. So look out for those. Thank you all so much for joining me. Really appreciate it. And enjoy your painting. And see you hopefully on the Tuesday live stream. Cheers for now.